Hello and welcome to Real Obscure. My name is Kevin H. Shaw, and in tonight's episode we'll witness amazing ninja powers, magical statues, men in eyeliner, and tiny robots. From 1985, it's the cut and shut kung fu cult classic, Ninja Terminator. Ninja Terminator is the brainchild of Godfrey Ho. A writer, producer and director of martial arts movies, Godfrey Ho began his career with the Shaw brothers, no relation, as an assistant director. In the early 80s he founded his own production company, IFD, with fellow filmmaker Joseph Lai, with whom he assembled, and I use that word deliberately, a series of movies in which he would take an existing film, add new scenes and redub the original footage to create a seamless new story and production. As well as his barrage of movies, he's believed to have made over 100, he also used at least 40 different pseudonyms, including Benny Ho, Charles Lee, Godfrey Hall, and the brilliant Ed Wu. Ho retired from filmmaking in the early 2000s to teach his craft at the Hong Kong Film Academy. Now, at the time of the movie's release, ninjas were proving to be very popular thanks to a wave of cinematic classics such as the Chuck Norris vehicle The Octagon, Cannon's Ninja Trilogy, and a flood of Asian movies that became available to Western audiences thanks to the boom in the VHS rental industry. The mighty Arnold Schwarzenegger's portrayal of the titular Terminator in 1984 had sparked an entire subgenre of movies featuring the word Terminator in their titles in an attempt to cash in on the success of Cameron's groundbreaking action thriller. And so it's no surprise that when he came to title his latest movie, Ho paired the super hot buzzwords of ninja and Terminator for this opus, a technique he'd later use for the movie Full Metal Ninja. So, what's it all about? Well, that is the question. You see, Ho, following his usual modus operandi, took an existing film, a South Korean movie entitled The Uninvited Guest of the Star Ferry, and then essentially remixed it with new footage and new dialogue dubs to create Ninja Terminator. As a result of this, and Ho's, shall we say, dynamic editing techniques, well, it's a little difficult at times to figure out quite what is going on. But let's see if we can pick the bones out of it. The movie opens in the Ninja Temple in Japan, and you can tell it's an authentic ninja temple because they have totally authentic paper lanterns with pictures of authentic ninjas printed on them and everything. We see three ninja masters, Master Tamashi, Master Baron, and Master Harry. Yes, Harry. They're assembling a statue that is the movie's MacGuffin, the Golden Ninja Warrior. Or at least we would see it if the aspect ratio hadn't cropped out half of the image. And get used to this, as this is the sort of poor pan and scan framing that is a common occurrence throughout the movie. Anyway, the Supreme Ninja, a man who apparently finds everything hilarious, is celebrating 20 years of the Ninja Empire, whatever that is, by demonstrating the power of the aforementioned Golden Ninja Warrior, which is a mystical 3-part statue that can be used to grant whoever wields it the power of invulnerability, which he then demonstrates by inviting the ninja masters to try and chop his arms off. I mean, personally I'd start with something smaller like a pinprick or something, but I'm not a supreme ninja, so what do I know? But then the three master ninjas steal the separate parts and attempt to escape from the temple. For some reason. Now, I have to admit, I've had to refer to the Wikipedia entry on this movie's plot in an attempt just to keep track. Not so much for the plot points, but rather the why of it all. According to Wikipedia, this is because Tamashi, Baron and Harry feel that the ninja empire has become too powerful, and so decided to steal the statue, but I honestly have no idea where this comes from, as it later seems Master Baron wants all the pieces for himself, but I don't know, and the movie never really bothers to tell us. Anyway, a quick aside here, but you may have noticed I haven't credited any of the actors in this movie yet, and that's due to the fact that there's very little to actually go on in terms of a cast and credits list. The movie itself doesn't give a list of characters, and online resources are few and far between, but here's a quick look at least what I've been able to figure out. Master Harry is played by Richard Harrison. He's an American actor and director who found fame in the 60s and 70s, particularly in Italy, where he appeared in a number of swords and sandals movies, a few spy flicks, and later spaghetti westerns. In the 80s he appeared in a number of low-budget movies in the Philippines, including the cult classic Blood Debts. You'll probably know it for its famously abrupt ending sequence, in which Harrison's character uses a hidden pistol with explosive rounds to blow up the movie's bad guy, and over a freeze frame, a caption abruptly appears stating that his character was sent to jail for life as a jaunty little theme tune plays. Harrison previously worked with the Shaw brothers, no relation, in Hong Kong, where he met Godfrey Ho. He made a number of movies with Ho, but unbeknownst to Harrison, he rather cheekily reused the scenes he'd shot for 4 films and spun them out to at least 20 other movies. Genius. Master Baron is played, I think, by an actor named Jonathan Wattis. However, aside from Ninja Terminator, the only other credit he has on IMDb is another 1985 Chinese movie, Kung He Fa Choi, although he doesn't even receive a full credit for that movie, and his role in it is unknown. As for Master Tamashi, well, if any experts on Hong Kong cinema are watching this and know who he's played by, please let me know in the comments below. And we'll get back to the remainder of the cast later when we get into the action of the uninvited guest of the Star Ferry. So in a very weird jump cut from the ceremony to a random shot of the Ninja Fortress exterior, and then back to a shot of Baron and Harry grabbing the statue, we then cut to the 3 masters running away, and Tamashi also finds time to change into a black ninja outfit, although as we'll see later, instant outfit changes do seem to be another magic ninja skill. Anyway, we then witness an amazing display of 80s ninja action, with loads of swish swing swordplay, katanas that spray smoke, backflips, magically appearing weapons, ninja teleportation, and hilarious tiny step running. The 3 masters make good their escape, much to the annoyance of the Supreme Ninja, who is now not laughing, and he commands that the pieces of the Golden Ninja Warrior must be found and the traitors must be dealt with. We're then informed via an on-screen text that it's 2 years later and we're now in Hong Kong. Tamashi has the body piece of the Golden Ninja Warrior and is performing the rites that will activate its power. Now, it's not made clear until later on, but each part of the statue, namely the left arm, the body and the right arm, when used individually only protects that specific body part. Whether that means the fully unified statue only protects these parts and the ninja commanding it is still left susceptible to injuries to his legs or ghoulies isn't really clear. Anyway, one of the Supreme Ninja's henchmen arrives and begins to fight Tamashi. But rather than fight him off, this ninja master, who is an expert in ninjutsu remember, instead turns his back on his attacker and attempts to continue the ritual, leaving him vulnerable to a shuriken in the back. Thank you, Master Tamashi, the check's in the mail. We then cut to Tamashi's brother Ikaza and sister Machiko at his grave. Ikaza, discussing the mystery of Tamashi's death, states, "It just doesn't make any sense," echoing all of our feelings. Now, as I mentioned, Godfrey Ho was renowned for this technique of splicing new footage into pre-existing movies. So in this case, the whole ninja sequence was filmed by Ho and then inserted into The Uninvited Guest of the Star Ferry, and it's from that movie that these sequences of Machiko and Ikaza, and indeed most of the movie, comes. A prime example of this is the next scene, where Tiger-chan meets with his boss, who it's revealed, in an isolated shot, is none other than Ninja Master Baran, who has set himself up as a crime lord and is attempting to unify the Golden Ninja Warrior so he can claim its powers for himself. Tiger-chan briefs his henchmen, telling them to retrieve the statue and, if Machiko or Ikaza offer any resistance, to kill them. Ikaza is indeed killed by Tiger's henchmen, but before we can learn Machiko's fate, we cut to Master Harry, honing his powers by rolling off a side table and then cutting up the ninja's greatest enemy, a melon. And then Ninja Master Baran doing his best Burning Man fire dancer routine. For some reason. Later, as Harry is polishing his katana, and no, that's not a euphemism, the crabs his wife is cooking for dinner escape. But before crustacean chaos can ensue, Master Harry uses his ninja dart skills to save the day. It's like some kind of Chekhov's gun, well, Chekhov's ninja dart, but given this is Godfrey Ho, nothing comes of it. Anyway, we're now introduced to the movie's actual lead, Jaguar Wong, who, in a scene that's very clearly redubbed to serve as an exposition drop for the whole ninja plotline, meets up with a friend, who casually informs him that Ikaza was killed that morning. Anyway, let's have a quick cast update. Tiger-chan, the movie's main villain, is played by Korean actor and director Hwang Jang-lee. He appeared in a number of Hong Kong action movies, including 2 starring roles opposite Jackie Chan, before retiring from acting in the 90s. He does, however, continue to teach martial arts to this day. Jaguar Wong is played by Jack Lam, a Korean actor whose credits include a number of ninja and martial arts movies. He also had a brief career in Hollywood, appearing in the raunchy comedy sequel Screwball Hotel and the John Travolta movie Chains of Gold, and also as a stunt performer on some other productions. But sadly, like many of the other cast members, there's really little else to go on. Anyway, back to the so-called plot. Jaguar Wong calls Ninja Master Harry and explains that he is going to protect Machiko, who did not die, and this pleases Harry, as he believes she is the best bet for finding the Golden Ninja Warrior's body. And then he hangs up his Garfield phone. Yes, Ninja Master Harry, martial artist extraordinaire, destroyer of deadly decapods, keeper of one part of the Golden Ninja Warrior, and all-round badass, makes his serious business calls using a Garfield phone. Honestly, I wish they'd just embraced this and shown his bedroom, which I bet had a Felix the Cat googly-eyed wall clock and a Smurfs bed set. And so the stage is set for an adventure in which Jaguar Wong, working as an agent for Master Harry, attempts to find the Golden Ninja Warrior body whilst fighting off Master Baran's henchmen, who also seek the same goal. Which basically involves Jaguar Wong getting into some admittedly very well executed fight sequences with various henchmen of Ninja Master Baran, intercut with scenes of Ninja Master Harry and Ninja Master Baran doing ninja stuff and occasionally talking about the Golden Ninja Warrior just to remind us of the movie's new plot. Anyway, as events spiral toward their conclusion, I think it's a good time to enter the spoiler zone. So after some stuff happens and things occur, seriously, the events unfold in this movie like some kind of fever dream. Jaguar Wong confronts Tiger-chan and, using the power of sand and Tiger's 2 strong kicks, defeats him. But what of the Golden Ninja Warrior? Well, Masters Baran and Masters Harry, after being threatened by tiny robots and sent video cassettes, confront the Supreme Ninja's best ninja, Yamato, who happens to hold the body of the Golden Ninja Warrior. The three each activate their statue's powers, with Yamato gaining an indestructible body, while Baron and Harry gain one indestructible arm. After a fight featuring the usual flippy-floppy fighting, ninja teleportation, a scene in which they all throw colour-coded exploding ping-pong balls at each other, and an array of trick weapons, Baron is killed. But Harry is able to defeat Yamato, who begs to be killed as he cannot live with the dishonour of failing the ninja empire. However, Harry refuses, and as he unites the three pieces of the Golden Ninja Warrior and gains supreme power, Yamato explodes. For some reason. Now, if Ninja Terminator sounds like a mess of a movie to you, then you'd be right. From the way the storylines are welded together, to the music cues that just cut mid-scene, to the pan and scan ratio that doesn't always scan fast enough, and the utterly random editing, it's really just an exercise in what the hell was he thinking? Now, without getting too technical, but editing in movies and TV follows rules to ensure a smooth experience for the viewer. For example, if a character exits the shot to the left, generally you'll cut to them entering the shot by continuing to move in the same direction. If you're not cutting on direction, then you cut on colour, shape, or theme. It's one of those things you don't notice consciously, but when it goes wrong, then boy do you notice it. But Ho and his editors just threw the rulebook out the window. And sometimes that can work, and rules are meant to be broken. But Godfrey Ho's approach just leaves the audience off balance. Scenes cut on characters barely finishing the delivery of their line, which immediately runs into the next scene's dialogue with no pause to establish where we are or who is talking. When we do have establishing shots, some are literally just a few frames. Movement and camera directions crash into each other constantly. Characters swap sides mid-fight. It's utterly baffling and makes keeping up with events feel like you're listening to an 8-year-old on a sugar rush excitingly describing the and then game of Fortnite that he just won. Now, I mentioned earlier how Ho would often essentially remix older movies with new footage, but he would also reuse this footage across multiple movies. But even within a single movie, it's like he still just can't help himself, as at one point we have the same watermelon fire dance sequence repeated. And on the subject of Ho's, shall we say, jackdaw approach to filmmaking, many of his movies feature soundtracks from other movies and musicians, including Wendy Carlos of Tron and A Clockwork Orange fame, the theme from Star Wars, and songs by Pink Floyd. And it's also this approach to filmmaking that accounts for the confusion over just how many movies Ho actually made, with some stating he's responsible for over 100 movies, although even the director himself lost count of just how many productions he'd actually released. Now, is Ninja Terminator a good movie? No, it's terrible. And yet, like the best terrible movies, it manages to transcend its utterly nonsensical plot, cheap, hokey ninja action, and bizarre choices to actually become something that's genuinely entertaining. It never lets up with its insane mix of fantastic fight sequences and surreal moments of WTF-ery. Jack Lam is a superb movie martial artist, and his final fight with Tiger Chan is superb. It's worth seeing if only to see the complete disregard for personal safety these guys exhibit during their fights. And you will find yourself becoming mesmerised by this movie, if only to see what the hell is coming next in this absolute cavalcade of confusion. So if you're in the mood for a bizarre cinematic experience with hilarious magic ninjas, some great fight sequences, editing that's as fast-paced and hard-hitting as the movie's punches and kicks, and the grooviest gang members you'll ever see, then Ninja Terminator is the one for you. And maybe this is a bit too much to say it, but genius with which Ho manages to take an existing movie and retool it with a completely new plot is worth the admission price alone, even if it's available for free on Tubi. And on that note, thanks for listening, and I'll see you all on the next episode of Real Obscure. This episode of Real Obscure was written, produced and made into a completely different podcast episode by me, Kevin H. Shaw. You can like and share the video to help the channel grow, or you can make a one-time financial donation to help support Real Obscure using the YouTube thanks option, or via our Ko-fi page at ko-fi.com/Real Obscure. Your feedback is always welcome, so feel free to comment below, or you can email the show at hellorealobscure@gmail.com. And I'm also on Blue Sky using the handle @RealObscurePod, so head over there and give me a follow. Ninja Terminator is copyright 1985. All content here is used for educational and commentary purposes under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, Fair Use, and remains the property of the respective copyright holder. Presented here for the purposes of critique, commentary and discussion. No copyright infringement is intended. So please don't sue me or use this recording to make another 24 different podcasts without my consent.